You find yourself in a uniquely frustrating and confusing modern dynamic. It's the experience of realizing a woman has granted you a permanent backstage pass to her life, but you're never invited to be the main act. She ensures you have just enough access to feel involved, texting when the silence of her evening becomes too loud, calling when the weight of her world needs a temporary resting place on your shoulders. You orbit her world, providing a steady, reliable gravity. While she remains the sun, everything revolves around. The profound confusion sets in when, despite this undeniable access and intimacy, the moment arrives for true commitment. For love, for her to truly give herself, she consistently looks past you and chooses another man. This leaves you grappling with the central, painful question, if I wasn't the one she wanted, why go to such lengths to keep me around? The answer lies in understanding a crucial distinction. Her actions are often not driven by a search for love, but by a pursuit of comfort. Love requires risk, vulnerability, and mutual investment. Comfort, however, is a one-way street of consumption. She is seeking security against loneliness, a reliable source of attention to validate her desirability, and emotional validation to soothe her insecurities. You become the provider of these essential utilities. And because you provide them without requiring any meaningful reciprocity, without demanding a title, clarity, or respect, you become indispensable as a placeholder. You are the emotional interim, keeping the seat warm while she waits for the man who doesn't just provide comfort but who ignites a spark of raw desire and commanding respect. This is the intricate architecture of the dreaded friend zone. A space not of genuine friendship, but of managed utility. You are strategically positioned close enough that your stream of support doesn't dry up, yet distant enough that you never truly threaten her freedom or become a priority. She'll offer just enough encouragement to fuel your hope, calling you such a good guy, confiding in you as her emotional therapist, and leaning on you when the men she actually desires disappoint her. In your mind, these acts of intimacy feel like deposits into a relationship bank account, building a path toward love. You mistake proximity for progress. However, in her psychology, these are not investments in a shared future. They are withdrawals. From a reliable account, you are not the man she dreams of. You are the man she uses to repair the emotional wear and tear caused by the men she actually dreams about. The placeholder provides stability, but he is never the destination. He is thanked for his service and promptly forgotten the moment the real choice, the one who commands rather than pleads, finally arrives. This dynamic is rooted in a powerful and often painful paradox. Her willingness to keep you close is not evidence of her dislike for you, but rather it is a testament to how much she appreciates what you provide. The critical distinction she makes is that these benefits come with no strings attached, requiring no commitment, vulnerability, or sacrifice on her part. You have become a fixture of reliable comfort in her life, the safe harbor, the constant listener, the ever-available source of validation. These are qualities of immense utility to her, especially during periods of loneliness, insecurity, or transition between romantic partners she is more emotionally invested in. You are the emotional utility player, used to maintain her stability while she chases excitement elsewhere. However, this very utility is a double-edged sword. The traits that make you so valuable as a support system in the short term are the same ones that disqualify you as a romantic partner in the long term. By being perpetually safe, reliable, and available without condition, you inadvertently communicate a lack of boundaries and a scarcity of other options. Women fundamentally respect men who operate from a position of self-worth, who understand that their time, energy, and emotional labor are valuable resources that must be earned. A man who gives everything for nothing teaches her that he has nothing more valuable to offer and no higher standards to uphold. In striving to be her rock, you become a fixture of the landscape, appreciated but never desired. This isn't a conscious act of malice on her part. It is a function of strategic emotional psychology. Humans are hardwired to retain resources that benefit them, and you have made yourself an invaluable emotional resource. She is unlikely to voluntarily cut off a steady supply of attention, validation, and support, even if she has no intention of ever reciprocating it in the way you hope. From her perspective, you are a low-risk, high-reward asset. You function as her safety net, ensuring a soft landing if she falls, and her backup plan, guaranteeing she is never truly alone. This is not because she is plotting to eventually reward you, but because she has a deeply ingrained fear of losing the unwavering comfort you provide. Your constant presence insulates her from the full, uncomfortable weight of her own choices and the reality of being truly alone, allowing her to take greater emotional risks with other men because she knows you are always waiting in the wings to help her pick up the pieces. This entire dynamic explains the ancient and often misunderstood phenomenon of the nice guy finishing last. It is a critical misunderstanding to think women reject these men because of their kindness. They do not. What they reject is weakness that is cleverly disguised as kindness. The archetypal nice guy operates on a flawed economic principle. He believes that if he makes enough deposits of loyalty, time, and emotional labor into her account, she will eventually see his value and reward him with love and commitment. He gives endlessly, listens to every problem, and waits with infinite patience, believing his perseverance is the ultimate proof of his devotion. He mistakes his own endurance for a virtue she will one day prize. In reality, his patience does not prove his value. It teaches her a crucial lesson about his lack of it. It demonstrates that he has no other options, no stronger mission, and no standards that she is required to meet. She learns that he won't walk away, he won't enforce a boundary, and he will always be available to soothe the wounds inflicted by the men she is actually passionate about. He becomes her emotional Kashona, comfortable, reliable, an utterly predictable source of support that requires no maintenance. His endless giving doesn't make him irreplaceable, makes him expected. His loyalty, because it is given so freely and abundantly, loses all perceived value. It is not seen as a rare and precious gift he is bestowing, but as a standard feature of his personality that costs her nothing to receive. This highlights the fundamental law of attraction. It is not built through excessive sacrifice, but through strategic scarcity. In the human psyche, that which is abundant and easily acquired loses value, while that which is rare and must be earned becomes priceless. The nice guy makes the fatal error of making himself too available, too predictable, and too easy. It surrenders all mystery and challenge, the very elements that spark curiosity and desire. Consequently, she may hold him in affection but feels no spark of anticipation or intrigue. She will often run towards the man who gives her less attention but makes her work for every bit of it, while simultaneously keeping the nice guy on retainer to provide the bulk of her emotional support without requiring anything back. It is not that she is blind to the nice guy's worth, it is that she cannot feel it. Because in the realm of attraction, a person's worth is not measured by how much they give away, but by how much they confidently withhold until their partner proves they are truly deserving of it. To break free from this cycle, you must first confront a series of uncomfortable and non-negotiable truths. The first is that she has already categorized you, and this categorization is remarkably rigid. Female psychology is often efficient in this regard, quickly sorting men into distinct boxes: the man she desires, the man she respects, the man she uses, and the man she ignores. If you have been placed in the useful but not desirable category, no amount of additional loyalty, patience, or kindness will trigger a promotion. Desire is not a logical conclusion one reaches after reviewing a resume of good deeds. It is an involuntary emotional spark that is either present or it is not. You cannot negotiate your way into her heart through dedicated service. Once she has decided, you are not the man who ignites that fundamental spark. Your role is cemented as a source of comfort, not passion. This leads to the second, and perhaps most brutal, truth. If she truly wanted you, she would have chosen you already. When a woman feels genuine desire and respect for a man, she does not hesitate. There is no need for a prolonged evaluation period, no string of excuses, and no need to keep her options open. She moves with intention and clarity to secure his interest. Therefore, when you are met with phrases like, "I'm not ready for a relationship," but she continues to consume your time, attention, and emotional support, you must understand the translation. What she is truly saying is, "I am not ready for a relationship with you." Or, more bluntly, "I don't want you, but I am deeply afraid of losing the benefits you provide." Your presence allows her to avoid the uncomfortable feeling of being alone, while she continues her search for the man who compels her to commit without a second thought. The third truth is that you have willingly become her emotional insurance policy. She may crave the thrilling unpredictability of the men she desires, but she simultaneously depends on the stable comfort you provide. This allows her to have the best of both worlds, the excitement of the chase and the security of a guaranteed, soft landing. As long as you continue to pay the premiums on this policy with your time and loyalty, she has absolutely no incentive to ever upgrade you to the status of a primary partner. Finally, you must understand that this is not necessarily an evil calculation on her part. In her mind, you are a willing participant. You have agreed to these terms by staying, by giving, and by not demanding more. She rationalizes her behavior as harmless because you have never seriously challenged it. This is why the journey out of this dynamic cannot begin with blaming her. It must start with holding yourself accountable for accepting a role that diminishes your own value. The solution to this entire dynamic is not found in complex manipulation or in finally saying the perfect thing that will make her see your worth. The only true path forward is to reclaim your power through a single definitive act. You must walk away. This is not a strategic maneuver designed to provoke a reaction or make her chase you. Those are games, and games are played from a place of weakness, hoping for a reward from her. This is different. This is an act of calm, clear-eyed self-respect. You walk away because you have finally received the one message she has been sending you all along. You are not her choice. You accept this reality not as a judgment on your worth, but as a simple, factual statement of her preferences. The man she never chose is not the man she will suddenly wake up and respect one random Tuesday morning. Respect is not awarded for long service. It is commanded by those who know their own value and refuse to settle for anything less. By decisively cutting the cord, you accomplish several transformative things at once. You immediately stop the bleeding of your time, energy, and emotional capital into a venture that provides zero return on investment. You break the cycle where your presence is taken for granted and your loyalty is seen as a free commodity. This act is not about punishing her, it is about honoring yourself. It is the ultimate declaration that your spirit is too valuable to be kept on a shelf as someone's backup plan. In that moment, you cease to be the convenient placeholder and you begin your transformation into the prize. This is the ultimate paradox. You finally become the man she might actually see by removing the version of yourself she never did. The moment you walk away, you reclaim the most important thing you lost, your own agency. You stop waiting passively for her to choose you, and instead, you actively choose yourself. This redirects all that wasted energy back to its proper place, your own mission, your own growth, and your own well-being. It opens a door you had been keeping closed, the door to meeting someone who will see your value without you having to endlessly prove it, and who will offer reciprocity without you having to beg for it. This isn't about winning her back, it's about winning yourself back. The man who refuses to be a backup plan is the man who understands his fundamental worth is not determined by another person's validation. He becomes the author of his own story, and that is the most attractive and powerful position any man can hold. You were never waiting for her decision. You were waiting for your own.